Hey, welcome to my midlife crisis. This is Hairbrush Poetry Jam, and today I'm going to read to you a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. I'm doing something a little different this week because I'm celebrating my birthday, and so I wanted to read you one of my favorite poems of all time. This is Annabel Lee, and the first time I heard this poem was in 1997. I was dating my husband, and at the time he wasn't my husband yet, but he was my home, and we had just started dating, and I had suffered a lot of wounds, and they were the kind of wounds that are hard to see, but he could see them, and he was trying to figure out how to heal me. So one night he started reading me poetry, and that's actually a really good idea. So he read me this poem, and my first reaction to it was, oh my gosh, this poem is about me. And from that night, it became my favorite poem of all time. And so I'm going to share it with you today. So here it is, Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind blew out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in the sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. Okay, so I just want to talk about that a little bit because that poem really did something to me in 1997, and I've kept it very sacred my whole life since. And it was written in about 1850, and there's something really magical about that. I just want to talk a little bit about the difference between science and magic because I'm definitely like a firm supporter of the sciences. I'm not a person who thinks that should be discounted. Like, science should science as much as it can science, because I feel like it's our responsibility as humans to learn as much as we can about this world that we're in. And I feel like science has a lot of great tools for that, and we should use them. Um, and scientists will tell you that things that people used to think as magic are actually just science that they didn't understand. I really like that definition, but I think we should be able to still use it. I feel like there are a lot of things that still happen that are part of us, that are part of our lives, that science can't explain. And instead of being able to call it magic, we're just somehow not supposed to talk about those things. Like, science can't explain how I read a poem in 1997 that Edgar Allan Poe had written almost 150 years before. And the moment I read it, I thought, this is me. But it was true. It was true for me. So I don't think science can. If science can explain that, then you guys should drop me some links because I really want to read more about those studies. Otherwise, I think we should still be able to call things magical when it's something that happens to our hearts or our minds or our spirits, and the basis of it isn't something that science understands. Because I feel like that's still a really important part of our lives and who we are and how we understand who we are. So that's my take on it, and that's what Annabel Lee means to me. Okay, so now it's time for highlights from the daily report. These are put together from social media posts that I do throughout the week on Facebook and Twitter, so you can follow me there if you want to see these as they come out. Otherwise, this is just a little sampling from my daily reports. Evidently, I still have to Google how to hard-boil an egg. She gets to come in. It's her house, too. We need a new air mattress. We have decided to blame Junie. The Christmas tree stays up until we're vaccinated. Pay no mind that the lights have burned out. The house is eerily quiet. Somehow, all the beasties are asleep at the same time. And Alexa thinks you're magnificent. Okay, so there's only one thing left to do. I think like a scholar and spin like a baller, so hit the subscribe if you care what I holler, the bell and the like, and you show me some love. My jam is a poem. I don't ask for much because who needs a microphone? I have a hairbrush.